Welcome to Scott Cooks. Tonight I'm going to be making New York strip steaks in the Ninja Foodi, deviled eggs in the Ninja Foodi, and asparagus in the Ninja Foodi. Obviously I cannot cook all of those at the same time, so we're going to start with the deviled eggs. And for that, I've got a nice clean Foodi pot here. I've taken the rack and inverted. This is just the rack that comes with it. And I've got 6 large eggs. I'm going to grab some water. And I'm going to get the water level up to right near the top of the eggs. Alright, I did measure that out for you. That's 8 cups of water. Don't really need to submerge them because they'll float, so that's pretty good right there. Alright, we're going to grab the pressure lid. Make sure we throw that on seal. Power up. Pressure defaults to high, is what we want. We want 4 minutes. And a quick release. So after 4 minutes, we'll take a back of a spoon or something and flip that over. Now, if you haven't used one of these before, or any pressure machine, 4 minutes is not 4 minutes. That's 4 minutes under pressure. We've got to get this to pressure first. It's probably going to take 6 to 10 minutes to get to pressure. So once it gets to pressure, the timer will kick on for 4 minutes. And after the 4 minute mark, of course, we release the pressure, let the button drop, pull the lid, get them out, and I'll have a bowl with some ice water sitting here next to them to drop them in. All right, while we're getting the deviled eggs ready, we'll be about 20 minutes on those between cook time, cutting them, preparing them. So we'll go ahead and get our New York strips out. And we want to get this meat to close to as room temperature as we can. So, 20, 30 minutes from now, this will be close to room temperature, and you can see how thick this is. So we're gonna broil these in the Foodi. I like broiling them in there, gets them cooked really nice. Right before they go in, I'm going to take some really nice olive oil, coat both sides, probably hit it with some kosher salt both sides. That's probably all the seasoning I'm gonna put on it. I like my steak to taste like steak. And by the way, kosher salt is not going to make it taste salty. Kosher salt keeps it from drying out. It adds a tiny bit of saltiness to it, but not much. And I might even hit it with a little cracked pepper. So we're just going to let these guys just rest. You just sleep. Sleep, steak, sleep. Alright guys, we're at the 2 minute mark. If you got a Foodi and you haven't bought one of these, you really should grab one. I believe I got this at Kohl's, I think. It's just a silicone tipped pair of tongs, and it has this little thing so you can lock them. If you want to do everything you can do to keep from scratching your pot. I've already added the ice in to the water, and in a couple minutes here, a minute and a half, we're going to release the pressure and pull the eggs out into the water. And then I'll show you how I make deviled eggs. There's 1,000 ways to make deviled eggs. This is my go-to quick and easy deviled egg dinner. Deviled eggs. I have some other recipes I'll show you at a later date in another video. Some of them, one of my all-time favorites will just blow your mind, but we're not going to do that one tonight. This is just quick and easy deviled egg for dinner. Alright, we're at 4 minutes. There you go. We're going to go ahead and release the pressure. I'm just going to use my tongs here. Alright, there's a 3 minute, we're on the 3 minute pressure release mark. Button's about to drop. You probably see some new ingredients here. We're going to be using the Miracle Whip, a little bit of French's yellow mustard. These are my homemade bread and butter pickles. And I've got a little of this Morton salt mix. The label fell off when I took it apart, but it's pepper flakes, salt, pepper, stuff like that. It's really good. Alright guys, we can go ahead and pull the top now. I'm going to turn the Foodi off. Don't need it on right now. And just drain the liquid right back into the pot. And I'm going to set this on the other counter. And we'll use our tongs here. We want to get these eggs cooled off pretty quick. Straight into the ice water. Now I made more eggs than I'm going to use tonight. So I'm going to make an egg salad. I did it on purpose. I'm going to make an egg salad with the remainder. And in just a minute here, we'll let these cool. I'll get them peeled. And I'll show you how I like to make my egg salad. And for our next operation, we're going to do the steak. So we'll need to just drain the water out of here and flip the rack. So just let that cool for a few minutes. Ice water, cooled it down pretty quick. Give that a couple more seconds. Yeah, it's pretty good already. I'm gonna see if I can show you how easy these peel. Sorry, make sure I was actually recording. Hang on, let me grab a little bowl here. See if we can do one live for you. Grab a towel. Just gonna dry that off a little bit so it doesn't slip out of my hand. What I like to do, over here in the camera, so I'm crunching the top and the bottom. I like to lay it down, just roll it, give it a little push, and when you're steaming, which is basically your pressurized steaming, that's it. The shell's off. It's literally that easy. I'm going to run that under the faucet to make sure I get all the little pieces off, but I'll show you. We'll do that again. You know, if you don't want a Ninja Foodi for any other reason, this is the only reason you need one for. The easiest peel eggs ever. Now, you might have a different way to do it. That's just how I do it. And you can see why. They're just, look at that. Just boom, boom, done. Egg peeled, and all of them are going to do that. I've done this a million times. So I'm going to do 3 of these for dinner, which will give me 6 pieces, and then I'm going to save those 3 and put them in the fridge, and I'll make egg salad tomorrow with those. Actually, I might make that tonight, so it'll be ready for lunch tomorrow. We'll see. See what I did there? I just give it a little push, and this one's a little stubborn. There you go. And voila, comes off in one big piece. That's it. I'm going to go rinse these off. Be right back. Let me get a little paper towel. I know this is different than some of my other videos. I just wanted to show you the whole process. I'm just going to just tapping those to get that water off. The only reason is I don't want them to slip. Alright, here's the way I like to do it. I'm sure there's many, many ways. All I do is turn my egg long ways like this, and I'm pressing in with these 2 fingers. See me compressing it? I'm pressing it in, and I take a steak knife. This happens to be a Ginsu, but any serrated steak knife. Right in the middle. 1 push, 1 pull, boom. Perfect egg. I'm pushing in pretty tight, compressing it, boom, and 1 push, 1 pull. Okay, I messed that one up because I let go of my pushing. I got nervous on camera. Oh my god. Any case, it doesn't matter. These are my eggs for dinner. I don't care. Okay. Let's see if we can see the whole picture here. 1 second, guys. Let me back you up just a hair. Let's see the bowl. Okay, and as you can expect, just like peeling them, the yolks come right out. And if you can see what I'm doing here, I'm taking it in my hand and I'm taking my thumb and pulling it away, just sort of breaking it loose, and then it just falls right out. See, I'm just kind of pulling away with it. You see that? And I get my spoon in there, and you know, every once in a while you're going to get one. You're going to have to dig a little bit. So just pull that away, make that little hole there. Boom, out they go. You can almost do it without the spoon. Oh, almost. It almost fell out. Okay. Now, if you're going to do these for presentation purposes, you know, you'll clean this out better. You'll add a little extra mayonnaise to this, which I'm not going to do, and then I would put it in my machine to squirt it out all fancy like. This is for dinner, guys. I'm not going to fool with that. So look, we're going to chop that up, and when we start stirring, it's going to go down even further. I'm going to take a little of this, okay, a little more, and for the mustard, I'm not going to measure, but I'm going to call that a teaspoon. You don't want much mustard, but a little bit. You got to hit a little bit. We're going to call that a teaspoon. All right, Miracle Whip to your consistency. Or mayonnaise. Whatever you like. You want it thin to put in a machine. You want it thick. Whatever you want, guys. This is my deviled eggs. You do it your way. I'm just going to show you my way. This is quick and dirty. I've got other ones that'll quite the process. So see? Look at that. Gorgeous. All right. One member of my family who will be eating these tonight does not like pickles and does not like them very sweet. So we found a compromise. Watch. A dribble of my homemade bread and butter pickle juice. Sweetens them up, gives them that pickle flavor without actually having any pickle in it. And the final thing, there, see a little mayonnaise was stuck right there, so we really want to get that mixed in good. Scrape it down, grab one, squish it on in there. We can get more than that in there. Squish it on in there. I try to pull towards the back part of the egg where it's thicker. So you just kind of pull into the back there. And like, again, dinner, these will be gone in an hour. I'm not trying to make them pretty. I'm trying to make them good. You can make them as pretty as you want. And in fact, when I do my other recipes for the eggs, I will show you my device, Pampered Chef thing. You load up this tube and you can squirt out different patterns. It's pretty neat. Okay, that is good. 1 second. A lot of people think this is just for color contrast. Paprika actually has a flavor, and it tastes pretty good. You don't want to overpower it though, so I just like to tuck them in close. I take my finger, give it a little tap. That's deviled eggs right there, guys. Let's do some steak. All right, guys. I've got some kosher salt here, coarse kosher salt. Some olive oil, extra virgin. Gives it a good flavor. If you've got other, that's fine. Now, got to remember what we're doing here. We've got to be careful. We're going to put a little olive oil and a little kosher salt, but we want to be really light on it because we're doing the broil feature, which is really close to the lid. Now, if we start smoking, we might have to pull the steaks and flip this over and get them lower. But I think we're going to be okay. And what I like to do here, I've just finished washing my hands up. What I like to do is first get my salt open. My hands are going to be oily in a minute. So I keep one hand unoily, and I'm going to use a couple fingers here. And then we're just going to spread it around. And if you got a brush, that's fine. I'm just showing you ways to do stuff without having to buy extra equipment. You know, it's just you in the kitchen. Use your hand. Come on. Okay. Sorry, it's a little bloody, but you know, I've been letting it sit. Now, it's still a little cold. I probably could have let it sit even longer. It's okay. Now, I'm not going to tell you how long to cook your steak. Everybody likes their steak different, from raw to crazy well done. All right, we're going to sprinkle a little coarse on. And don't be scared. Don't be saying, oh my God, that's so salty. No. It doesn't even taste salty. Kosher salt is different than table iodized salt. This isn't sea salt. It's not table salt. Now, if you go crazy with it, you'll definitely taste the salt. Now, you're going to taste a little anyway. This adds such a wonderful flavor. Okay. Now, these are pretty thick. So I'm going to guesstimate the way we like them, at least 8 minutes per side. Now, let me see if you can even see those steaks. No, I'm going to move the camera around. And there they are. So I'm going to start with 8 minutes per side on broil. There's two people eating these steaks. One likes it one way, one likes it the other way. So I may actually be pulling one steak out before the other one. And then while they're resting, we're going to get the crisping basket in here and toss in our asparagus, which we'll prepare while the steak is cooking. All right, whenever you're broiling stuff in this Foodi, you need to be careful that you're not hitting the top. I mean, this is not going to burn or anything, but you don't want to be that close to those elements. So I'm going to do a test. Not even touching. So that's fantastic. Power up. And we're going to use broil. And we're going to go 8 minutes per side. So we'll set it to 8. At 8 minutes, we'll flip it. Do another 8. Then I'll throw the thermometer in it, and we'll see what we got. In the meanwhile, let's give some asparagus out. Alright, well, here's a quick tip for you if you didn't already know it. Almost all asparagus comes with these rubber bands on it. Leave the rubber band on it, guys. Pull the rubber band down where you want to trim off your edges. And you keep this whole thing together. And just whack those edges off. And there you go. I've seen people throw their rubber bands away, cut the asparagus flying all over the kitchen. We're ready to cook already. Make life easy. Alright, I just finished washing this up, so we're going to put our bottom on, flip it over. Of course, now we want to take the rubber bands off. I don't think air crisp rubber bands would be very tasty. So we're just going to kind of make a little tinker toy out of this. Stack them up like that. There you go. And after our steaks are done, we'll drop this in. And what I'm going to do is just drizzle a little more of this olive oil. Actually, I'm actually going to wait because I forgot I'm using the basket, so the olive oil will drip all over the place. So after I get it in the Foodi, we'll put a little olive oil in it, throw a little kosher salt on it, just like the steak, and we're good to go. Alright guys, check back in about 14 minutes when the steak's ready. That was 8 minutes per side. I've already flipped it. We're looking for about 160, 165. Let's get the old meat thermometer on here. Go through this thick part right there. Rising fast. 165 is a medium. And also I'm going to let this rest about 5 minutes. It'll raise the temperature about 5 minutes while it's sitting. So we're just at medium right now. So another test I like to do is when I pull this out, what do I see? And juices are a little pink coming out. And that's medium. That's fair. I personally don't like mine medium, but someone else here does. So I think I'll pull theirs and cook mine a couple more minutes. Hey guys, this is the medium one that I just pulled out. And what I like to do while these are resting is to get a little piece of aluminum foil and just press over top. When I get mine out, I'll do the same because we'll have to do the asparagus. And then that'll let these get to temperature and come out just about perfect. Yeah, I forgot to mention those ends I cut off the asparagus. You don't have to throw those away. You can keep those if you're going to make something the next day with them. Good for throwing in a soup for flavoring. Chop them up, use them in salad or something. You have to cook them down a little bit though. Those ends are pretty tough, so you don't want to just chop them up. You want to boil them first or something. But they can be used for many different things. Try not to waste anything. You know, if you can use it in another dish, do it. They'll last in the refrigerator like that. Just put them in a little bowl of water. They'll last in the refrigerator like that for a week while you're figuring out your next dish. Alright, I've pulled my steak out. I've got them both under the foil there. They are smoking hot, so they're not going to get cold or anything. Alright, we got a pretty big mess here, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to pull this rack out, drop the basket in, put a little olive oil, and throw that on air crisp for the asparagus. Alright, simple as that. Got a little olive oil, got some kosher salt. I want to stop that. That was still on the broil. I mean, you can broil these, but they're not high enough up to do it. So let's switch this over to air crisp, 390. Let's move it on up to 400. Set our time. Just going to set it 20 minutes. It doesn't matter because we're just going to check it. Probably go about 10. Should be ready then. All right, guys, here you go. What we have is a New York strip steak. This one is the medium one, cooked 8 minutes per side. We did deviled eggs in the Ninja Foodi, and I just did a tender crisp or an air crisp, 400 degrees on the asparagus for about 9-10 minutes. I went in there every once in a while and just flipped them around. If you like this video, please leave me some comments. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button. Don't forget that bell for notifications. Can't remember if I said that or not. And mostly I want to thank everybody for watching. And I hope you enjoyed it.